Have you ever spent hours studying late into the night feeling productive, feeling disciplined, only to wake up the next morning and realize you barely remember anything? You read the same paragraph 3 times. You highlight it. You even tell yourself, I'll remember this, and yet it's gone. Now here's the strange part. In Japan, many students memorize over 2,000 kanji characters and retain them for life. And some people there feel more alert after 5 hours of sleep than others do after 8. So what's really going on? What if the problem isn't your intelligence, and not even your effort, but the way your habits fight against your brain's natural rhythm? Most people believe forgetting means failure, that if information disappears, it's because they didn't focus hard enough, didn't study long enough, or simply aren't smart at remembering. But neuroscience tells a very different story. Your brain is not designed to store everything you consume. It is designed to delete information aggressively unless it receives very specific signals that something is worth keeping. That's why reading more often leads to remembering less. Japanese study culture approaches learning from the opposite direction. Instead of forcing the brain with longer hours, it aligns habits with how memory actually forms. Many students start their day by stepping outside into natural light and moving gently for 10 minutes. Research shows that even light movement can increase recall by up to 20%, simply by activating blood flow and neurotransmitters related to attention. Before learning anything new, they briefly review what they learned yesterday, not by rereading, but by trying to remember. They eat until they are 80% full, avoiding the heavy mental fog that comes from overeating. And they sleep not just by counting hours, but by respecting sleep cycles. It's not about discipline, it's about synchronization. When your habits match your brain's rhythm, learning stops feeling like a battle. In Japan, the day doesn't begin with rushing. It begins with setting the rhythm. Many students step outside shortly after waking up, even for just a few minutes. They walk to the train station, around the block, or simply stand in natural light. This isn't exercise in the traditional sense. It's a biological signal. Morning light tells your brain the day has started. It raises cortisol naturally, not the stressful kind, but the kind that sharpens focus and prepares your nervous system for learning. Add 10 minutes of light movement, and something interesting happens. Blood flow increases. Neurotransmitters linked to memory activate. Studies show recall can improve by around 20% with this simple habit. Now here's the part most people skip. Before Japanese students open a new book or watch a new lecture, many of them briefly revisit yesterday's material, not by reading it again, but by asking themselves, what do I remember? This is active recall in its simplest form. Even if they remember only fragments, the brain receives a powerful message. This information matters. Small rituals support this rhythm. Tidying the desk, preparing tea, opening the notebook to a clean page. These actions calm the nervous system and create a mental transition. Learning begins not with force, but with alignment. Most people study by consuming information. They read, they reread, they highlight, they feel busy. But feeling busy is not the same as building memory. Japanese students rely heavily on a principle that feels uncomfortable at first. You remember by trying to remember, not by reading again. This is called active recall. Instead of asking, do I recognize this? They ask, can I bring this back from memory? That struggle, the moment when your brain reaches and fails and reaches again, is exactly where memory forms. Neuroscience shows that retrieval strengthens neural pathways far more than passive review. To support this, they use spaced repetition. Rather than cramming, information is revisited on purpose. Day 1, Day 2, Day 4, Day 7. Each recall happens just before forgetting would normally occur. This timing forces the brain to rebuild the memory slightly stronger every time. Now here's where Japanese thinking adds another layer. Instead of chasing perfection, they follow Kaizen. Improvement by 1% each day, not more. Not all at once. One new word, one recalled concept, one short review. This philosophy is the same one used by Toyota to dominate entire industries. Applied to learning, it removes pressure and replaces it with consistency. Many students also study in focused cycles, such as 40 minutes of deep focus, followed by a 10-minute break. And when life interrupts, they follow one simple rule: never miss twice. Progress isn't built by intensity, it's built by rhythm. Most people think sleep is just rest. In reality, sleep is when your brain decides what to keep and what to erase. During the night, your brain moves through multiple stages, including deep sleep and REM sleep. Memory consolidation happens when these stages are completed naturally. This explains a strange paradox. Some people sleep 8 hours and wake up exhausted. Others sleep 5 hours and feel surprisingly clear. The difference is not discipline, it's timing. Waking up in the middle of a sleep cycle, especially during REM, can leave your nervous system disoriented. But waking near the end of a cycle often feels refreshing, even with fewer total hours. Japanese routines tend to support this naturally. Dinner is lighter. Portions follow hara hachi bu, eating until about 80% full. This avoids the heavy digestion that interferes with sleep quality and next-day focus. Many students also do something simple before bed: a short 10-minute review of what they learned that day. Not intense studying, just gentle recall. This gives the brain a signal: store this. Screens are minimized, lights are softened. The nervous system slows down. Sleep becomes an active partner in learning, not an afterthought. When rest is aligned with biology, memory strengthens without effort. There is one shift that matters more than any technique. It's not about studying harder. It's about who you believe you are while you study. Many people approach learning with this inner sentence: I'm trying to learn. That identity quietly assumes struggle, resistance, and inconsistency. Japanese learning culture leans towards something different. I am someone who learns steadily. This identity changes behavior automatically. Instead of relying on motivation, students build systems. Instead of waiting to feel ready, they follow routines. Learning becomes something they do, not something they fight. One powerful habit that reflects this mindset is teaching what you learn. Explaining a concept to a classmate, writing a short post, or summarizing it in your own words forces clarity. If you can teach it, your brain treats the knowledge as permanent. Equally important is silence. Between study sessions, Japanese routines often include moments of stillness: walking, sitting quietly, or simply doing nothing. This is not wasted time. It's when the brain reorganizes information, like roots growing underground before a plant appears above the soil. Learning doesn't always feel productive in the moment, but growth rarely does. When you stop chasing intensity and start building identity, learning becomes lighter and, surprisingly, faster. So let's step back for a moment. Japanese students don't remember more because they are smarter. They remember more because their habits work with the brain, not against it. They start the day with light and movement. They recall before they consume. They improve by 1%, not by burning out. They study in cycles, eat lightly, and sleep in rhythm. And most importantly, they see themselves not as people who struggle to learn, but as people who learn naturally. You don't need to change everything. Tomorrow, try just one thing. Take a 10-minute walk before studying. Recall yesterday's lesson before opening something new. Or stop eating when you're 80% full and notice how your mind feels. Small shifts create big change. You don't need more willpower. You need alignment. And the moment you start acting like a fast learner, your brain will follow.